Howdy there, partner. Today we're going to be talking about payment schedules, everyone's favorite topic. Not really, but good enough. So, our application supports configurable payment schedules, our Blackthorn payments app. They're very easy to use. It's an object, you click new, and you fill out your stuff. So, if you have a pretty common schedule, like if you want to do, say, charge everyone every month, and we're going to do like $50 a month, that's great. But let's say maybe the initial amount is like $250, and then after that, maybe everyone thereafter is like $50. You could do something like that. You can also pick like a different start date. So maybe it'll be like the 27th, and maybe you don't want it to go forever and you want 8 of them. But you could also have it go forever with a few different things. So you can keep one open, which means that after the first one charges, it makes a 13th one because it will make 12 by default here when if our count is blank or we put in a count of 12. Auto renew means that if we put in 12, it'll go through all 12 and then it regenerates the whole structure. Kind of like if you have an annual schedule for someone that renews annually. But a lot of times people do like keep one open if it's like a gym membership kind of thing. So we will do that. And maybe we'll create like 4 to start just so you can see it in the future a little bit. We have default payment gateways. So if you leave it blank, it'll fill that in. If you want to put in an account or you want to put in a contact, you can do that. If you did have multiple payment gateways, you could put that in. Like maybe you had 4 Stripe accounts or 2 different of Authorize.net or Spreedly or whatever it is. Your schedule status. So when this is in a draft state, it just like makes the record. When you're ready to generate the transactions, you can save it in a generate state. So I'm just going to save this in a generate state. So it's going to make all the transactions. Now, if you had like a funky schedule, like maybe you wanted to charge someone on like the 3rd day of every month, you could do that. Or if you wanted this to repeat, every like 3 weeks or something like that, there's just random reasons people might want that. You could go ahead and do that instead. Likewise, with the day of the week, you could do it that way, etc. It's actually generating a cron expression, which you don't need to know that, but if you're curious, it's what it's doing. And then what this thing's going to do is you can make it capture the first transaction immediately. Capture is just our term for charge the thing, but that has different terminology, so we just use capture. And then auto process means on the date when it's going to happen, it will auto charge then. Otherwise, it'll create all the transactions, but it won't necessarily charge them then. So we're not going to capture the first one now because we're not associating a payment method. So when I go ahead and click save, it's going to generate our transactions that we've set up from the configuration here. And you'll see we have them open here on the right. There's 250, 50, 50, etc. And here are our transactions. So we also have this field called next pay link, and that will have the request for doing the payment. So you'll see this payment here. Now this is pay link. I configured the logo, background, all this stuff with just a few clicks. When we do pay, let's put this in here quickly. And we'll put in, whoops, this is in the past now. I'm living in the past, great. And we'll go ahead and put in some other stuff. And this also has configurable language in case you need like acceptance language. So we'll go ahead and do the test transaction. So what this is now going to do is on the first payment that you collect, it updates the payment schedule with that card. So all of the successive transactions will be charged with this card. You can also click and download this as a PDF if you want. And on the payment schedule, if I refresh this, it will update the payment method to the one that we just created. And this is saved as like a PCI compliant method. The card isn't stored, just the authorization, just like the token as everybody calls it. Now, if you paid the second transaction with a different card, it actually will then update the payment method with the new card, and it updates all of the future transactions with the new card. This is especially important if you have a failed transaction for the first time and you send an email or a text to someone with our Blackthorn messaging app. hey, your payment failed and now, try this new one. And this is very common for doing donations or some kind of monthly membership. So hope this was useful there, partner. Bye-bye.